Hey, Jonathan here from the Riverdale podcast. I went to Boston Comic Con last weekend. As I said in the prior video, if you haven't watched, the prior video was all about some of the great Archie Comics that I picked up at Boston Comic Con. Today, we're going to talk about something really exciting to me. We'll wait and see if it's exciting to any of you. But long-time listeners of the show will know that I was a big fan of a particular Archie comic from the early 90s called Zen Intergalactic Ninja. It was this sort of kidification of an independent comic by Steve Stern and Dan Cody, and much in the same way that the Archie Ninja Turtles comic was a sort of kidification of the early Mirage Turtles comics. This was a kidification of their independent sort of black and white comics. And I found Lord Contaminous. Now, if you haven't ever seen this comic, please go see this comic. It's an amazing, I always say the things that are an amazing piece of Archie history, but I think it is a unique thing in the history of Archie Comics. They did some interesting adventure-y kind of books in the early 90s. Some licensed stuff. They did the Texas Cowboys of Moo Mesa. They did a Bayou Billy comic. But the one that hit with me when I was young, I was about 10 years old when all this hit, was Zen Intergalactic Ninja. And I found the action figure of actually almost entirely the entire series, but I have most of them. I've had a hard time finding and finally tracked down Lord Contaminous. And he comes on this great card with all this artwork and all these cool accessories. His, like, evil Scully kind of staff there, this, like, crazy little muck monster. And one of the cool things about these guys is they are packed, bam, with the first issue of the Archie comic. With this, the only difference is this red border that says, special Just Toys Collector's Edition. Just Toys is the company that made these. It's a company that generally made bendy toys, like Gumby and Pokey style, wireframe toys with, kind of rubberized bodies on them. But I thought we'd crack this open. I've been waiting to open it with you guys. I'm excited about it. One of the tricky things is there's a lot of great artwork on these cards. But first of all, it's obscured by the comic. And second of all, once you open it up to get the comic out, you've sort of torn up some of that great artwork. But there's a little comic backstory, a rundown of all the figures and vehicles you could get. There were no vehicles that were actually released in this line, to my knowledge. And actually, even one of the figures on here wasn't released at all. But let's get him out of there. I'm so excited. You guys, I'm glad that you are humoring me in sharing this moment. Really excited to have Lord Contaminous hanging out with me. He is not a well-articulated or constructed or exciting action figure necessarily, unless you're familiar with the source material. He's got, his arms move up and down, his legs move up and down. His face is kind of in the middle of his body, as you can see. And it looks like he's got, or at one point had, some slime that you could sort of pour into his head that would come out through the front of him. That's pretty awesome. Cool accessory there. That is not going to focus very well with the camera and the light the way it is, but cool little monster guy there. And this must be, this crazy thing that sticks into his back and probably would smush that ooze right into his head and out of his face. So that's gross and cool. It would be a lot of fun. If I were 10 years old, I might. And this, 20-plus-year-old goo was still gooing. I could have really had a lot of fun with that. But there we go. Here's his staff. We'll, I guess, try to get that into his hand at some point. Maybe that's not going to happen right now. Kind of awesome. But while I've got you here, Zen Intergalactic Ninja, the Archie comic, had art by Ross Andru and Mike Esposito, who were big-time Marvel stars, big-time penciling and inking team from back in the 70s, like Spider-Man comics. But look at Lord Contaminous there. Looks big and scary and intimidating. Maybe less so here, but I'm still excited to have him here to hang out with my Zen Intergalactic Ninja figure I got when I was actually 10. Finally, they'll be able to do battle. But there he is, Lord Contaminous, an interesting, unique, strange part of Archie history. How many toys are there that are packed with straight-up Archie comics in the package? There are some Sonic toys that are on the shelves now. Probably some Betty and Veronica dolls in the past, but nothing that I can think of right now. But that might be a fun show for the future, track down all the toys that we're having pack in Archie comics. But this is one of them. This is Lord Contaminous from the Zen, the Intergalactic Ninja toy line. Super, super excited. Thanks, guys.